Chicago is one of the biggest cities in the country. This allows it to welcome a wide variety of people and as many as possible. However, this does lead to some issues. Not only is Chicago known as Chirac because of the high amount of crime, it is also known as one of the most segregated cities in the country. Chicago is usually divided into the north and south sides, the north side appearing to be a safer place to live, while the south side is associated with crime and violence. We asked people around our school about their neighborhoods and whether they fit in with these assumptions.
Alright, what's your name?
Maya Smith.
Asha. My name is Adele Gonzalez.
Connor Geary.
My name is Zaria Beck.
Kevin Johnson.
My name is Isabel Spindola.
What neighborhood do you live in?
Austin. Hyde Park.
I live in Little Village.
Ravenswood.
I live in North Lawndale.
Inglewood.
I live in Wrigleyville.
What side of town is that on?
West side. South side.
That's on the south side.
North side.
It's on the west side of Chicago.
South side of Chicago.
It's on the north side of Chicago.
Do you feel safe in your neighborhood?
No. It's a lot of gangs over by where I live, and like recently, like not too far from my house, like somebody got shot. Yeah, we often at night hear gunshots and arguments outside my house. So yeah, that's why. Yes.
No.
Yes.
Not too much. It's a lot of violence, a lot of drug dealing, a lot of prostitutes. It's not the best place to be.
Yes, I feel safe because, I live right by Wrigleyfield, so it's like that's a main attraction for Chicago. Yeah, I feel safe in my neighborhood.
Do you feel that it's a diverse neighborhood?
No.
What would you say, like?
All black.
All black. Okay.
We're African American. No.
Who lives there?
Black people.
That's it.
Yes.
No.
Not at all.
What would-
It's all white.
No.
It's more segregated. It's more segregated than any other neighborhood I've ever been in. I've never seen another race in my neighborhood that was living in my neighborhood, other than just visiting. So.
If you go one way from my neighborhood, I feel like it's not diverse at all. But if you go more towards Uplift, then I feel like there's different, it's more diverse than where I live, if that makes sense.
Based on our answers, we saw that north side neighborhoods tend to be safer, have less crime, while south side neighborhoods have more crime. The map here shows a map of the city with each neighborhood outlined based on the amount of violent crimes that neighborhood experiences per year. Neighborhoods in dark green have the least amount of crime, with less than 400 crimes per year, while neighborhoods in red experience more than 4,000 crimes per year. Most neighborhoods in the north side, especially north of North Avenue, experience minimal amounts of crime, but neighborhoods farther south start to experience more crime, especially neighborhoods such as Fuller Park. We conducted a couple of Google searches in order to get the opinion of Chicago citizens on the best and worst neighborhoods. When we looked up some of the most dangerous neighborhoods, Englewood and Fuller Park, we found that people are more interested in the amount of crimes and shootings in those neighborhoods rather than actually living there. People are interested in the crimes in Englewood, while more people are concerned of the shootings in Fuller Park. However, when we looked up neighborhoods like Lincoln Park and Forest Glen, which are considered to be some of the safest neighborhoods, we found that people are more interested in living in those neighborhoods without worrying about the amount of crime in those neighborhoods. People are more willing to look up the cost of living in those neighborhoods, along with what kind of attractions were nearby. Now the real question is, what is the cause of this difference in the amount of crime? Many people point to racial and economical segregation. The poor neighborhoods in the city are clustered in the south side. It doesn't help that the people who live in these neighborhoods do not have opportunities to work, so they might end up picking up drug dealing, which will end up leading them to do other crimes. Many people in these impoverished neighborhoods happen to be people of color. Meanwhile, there are more working opportunities on the north side, where many people who inhabit that area are more privileged. This map shows how many African Americans live in different parts of the city. The darker blue areas signify more African Americans. Based on what is shown on the map, barely any African Americans live on the north side, with neighborhoods like Rogers Park and Uptown on the northeast sides as exceptions. There are a couple of neighborhoods on the south side, however, where African Americans make up more than 90% of the population. An example of these neighborhoods are Fuller Park, Englewood, West Garfield Park, and East Garfield Park. Fuller Park's population is 90% African American. Englewood's population is almost 97%. East Garfield Park's population is 93%. And West Garfield Park's population is more than 97% African American. Meanwhile, Lincoln Park's population is 81% white, while Forest Glen's population is 74% white. Since this has been a long-term issue in the city, there have been many voices that spoke out on their opinion on the situation. One of the most prominent voices, Mayor Rahm Emanuel, states that the racial segregation in the city goes back in history that relates to policies that used to exist. He also claims that the rise of African American officials will help resolve the problem of racial segregation. Despite how much segregation affects a city, it ends up being ignored. With the amount of voice the city has gained, we can use it to bring more attention to this issue. With the amount of diversity that we have here in this city, it's about time that we take advantage of it.